This is Miss Lizzie, and I want to welcome you to the Queen Lizzie podcast. Together, we will go through the history of Rosewood, Florida, and watch as the once prosperous town rises out of the bloodshed, fire, and ash to reveal the people, the memory, and the legacy of Rosewood. Watch every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube, or listen to our story on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Hello, everybody. I am Lizzie Robinson Jenkins, representing not only the Rosewood Foundation, but the personal testimonies and history of cherished friends and family. You are now watching the Queen Lizzie podcast. Today, we are talking with Coach Serena Lamar. Welcome, Coach Serena.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. It's an honor to have you. Okay, and I want the people to know that our podcast is brought to you by the Spurrier Gridiron Grill, okay, podcast, and Freddie Weeby, Melvin Law, and Jerry Benton with Bank of America, and that is so wrong. That is right, Bank of America USA, right?
It's Campus USA.
See,
USA
that's
Credit.
why I pay you. Campus USA Credit Union. Thank you. And they're very supportive of this Rosewood history because they know the importance of it. They reached out to me and they wanted to be involved. And of course I said yes, because we must keep history alive. It was uncomfortable. It still is uncomfortable, but it is who we are. And we work extremely hard to make sure we do not forget. This is episode number 130. So today you are number 130.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you, if you need 130 minutes or seconds, you have my permission. But I'm going to let you tell us about your program and how you are affiliated with the girls basketball at the University of Florida.
Okay. Again, my name is Serena Lamar, University of Florida Women's Basketball Director of Operations. I've been with the program. This will be my 22nd season.
Wow.
Yes. My parents dropped me off here in Gainesville in the summer of 2004. And I started working with the team before I started classes.
Really?
Yes. So 21 years later, I'm still here. I've been in different capacities. I started off as a student manager, and then I was a graduate assistant. Then I was the staff assistant, and then I became the director of ops.
Absolutely fantastic. So when you started this position, you didn't know anything about operation. You learned as you train. I mean, as you are
Yes.
learn as you grow,
Yes.
you learn your job. Okay.
Yes, so initially I thought I wanted to be a coach. I learned, I think in that first 1 or 2 years that is probably not the direction that I wanted to go. And then I quickly figured out that I thought the director of operations role was a role that I would excel in just because of the organization, the communication between the coaches and staff, and also the players. I thought that it was really fun to travel and coordinate all those sort of things and stuff like that, and just kind of be a liaison and an example for our young student athletes of what could be in this profession if they decided not to become professionals and things like that.
So you still travel with them?
I do.
You do.
I think that if I didn't travel, they might not go to the right place.
Okay, Mom. So you are a coach and a mom, supervisor, all of the above.
All those things, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's wonderful. Sounds like a great experience, and it sounds like something that you enjoy doing.
I do.
And I have heard so much about you. So when they are with me, when I interview them, we talk after the fact about you. Everybody praises you, and that's awesome. That is awesome, and I couldn't wait to meet you. And I was hesitant about asking you to be on this show. Okay, So I came up empty-handed. So when I emailed you and asked you, you said, of course.
Yes.
And you're here.
Yes. I appreciate that. Usually I thrive in being in the background.
Yes.
So I very rarely do people ask me to step in front and speak, but when they do, I've been a lot more ambitious, a lot more accepting of those invitations.
Absolutely. And we need you. We need more people like you. We appreciate you here at Queen Lizzie Podcast. And your coach came in first a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Kelly Finley. Yes, she was awesome. And you know what I like about her? She knows what you all need. When I say you, the players and the coaches, she wanted you all, the coaches, to be a part of Rosewood, this history, because I understand you have girls from several countries.
Yes.
Okay.
This is probably the most worldwide team we've had in many years. Yes. Wow. We have student athletes from 8 different countries.
Really? Yeah. And all of the coaches and you two feel like they need this experience, this historical side of Florida, America, what we're doing here and what we have done here. Very, very uncomfortable history Rosewood is. Okay. And I remember she invited me to come out to the practice and talk to the girls. They knew not what I was talking about, but they were interested. Okay, and I'm more than sure the legacy of the planning, the teaching has continued, because I'm thinking it was the Coach Finley suggested that we go take the girls to the site so they can see the site. The house is still there, but they can feel the energy once they get there. And we do have a marker there, a Rosewood marker that talks about the history of Rosewood. So I'm looking forward to getting a bus and taking the girls out to experience history. Do you think that will work?
Yes, we'd love that.
Okay, so we're going to have to get a sponsor for this too. Freddie, and I hope you're listening. And I know you are. Yes, and take the girls out there for history, because especially now, we need it more than ever. Okay, with so much going on, and there's so much hate that we didn't create, but it's there. And hopefully one of the main goals, one of my main goals, is to just take this negative, as I say, taking a negative effect, making a positive effect. And I hope that's what we will be able to do. Make it positive, because this history belongs to us, to the next generation. We didn't create it, but it's who we are. It's what we have become, and we're not going back. And together we can go forward.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, now when is your first game?
First game, November 3rd. We tip off versus University of North Florida.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I plan to be there, and I plan to bring my little nieces and nephews, okay, and other friends. I'm telling them, make sure you come to this event. And if y'all don't have money, I will fund the first group of people. My Rosewood Foundation will pay for it. Come out and enjoy. It's an excellent experience. Even if your kids don't know about basketball, but there are so many young kids these days that are interested in sports, and that is very important. So come out and bring your team. And if you're looking at me today and if I look different, it's because I am getting ready for my 87th birthday bash.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be there. I will be there.
You will be there?
Yes.
All right. Did y'all hear that? Will you be wearing your cowboy hat?
Yes.
All right.
And some boots.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah, boots on the ground.
All right. I don't know a thing about how to do that.
You don't? I'll teach you.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did y'all hear that too? I don't, but I do have my fan. I don't remember if I brought my fan. I think I brought my fan today. I probably left it in the car.
If you don't, I'll bring you one.
Okay. Bring me a fan. I got my fan. I don't know how to make it. How to?
I'll just show you how to do that too.
Okay.
You hold
Would you
it
like
right
to do
here.
it now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Once more. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Demonstration free, but you have to pay for your ticket. The tickets are $87.21.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
it's the Rosewood fundraiser, $87.21.
Okay.
So we are going to have fun here in the visor, rooftop visor. So be here and just come to have fun. Boots on the ground. We will have a wonderful time. And today, when after the show, of course, we're going to take a picture.
Okay.
And the picture is going on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes, we're going to put it on Facebook. Anything you would like to add to our conversation?
No, I'm looking forward to going to your birthday party specifically. Our staff will be there as well.
All right.
But I appreciate you having me on here. I think this is awesome just to talk about the history of Rosewood and who you are and what you do in the community. It's very powerful, very important. It's specifically important for our student athletes to be exposed to things like that. We don't want them to just be people who come through this community and have no idea really of any of the history or anything that's surrounding our area. We do like to expose them to different things because it's important. You know, sometimes they will come back, as you know, many former athletes do, and it's important for them to feel belongingness to this place outside of just the orange and blue and the uniforms that they wore. They need to know the people that make this place special.
Exactly, and we are the people, and that's why we are here, to make it special. And I enjoy reaching out to people like you, the coaches and the community. And my show is not professionally done, but it's real. It comes from my heart. It's what I grew up learning and what my mom wanted me to be, an educator, and she wanted me to tell this story, keep it alive, because her sister was a teacher, lost her job, rearranged her life, lost her everything, livelihood, burned, how her house was burned down, and everything. They had to start over. However, they were misplaced, disgracefully. But many of them, especially the descendants, because when we negotiated to make sure Rosewood was history was not forgotten, Governor Lawton Child was the governor, and the what do they call the representatives, the legislators, worked with him to make sure a scholarship was set up in the Rosewood family name, wherein if you were a member or descendant of Rosewood, you will be able to get a scholarship and go to college. And we have more than 300 Rosewood descendants have gone to college. And one of our latest members is, and I tell this story because everybody knows Morgan and Morgan, and I hope you're listening, Morgan and Morgan, so that you all can give us a sponsorship, okay? I will be calling you. But one of our latest graduates is an attorney at Morgan and Morgan. So they have done quite well. We have 6 foundations. My foundation is the oldest. Okay. And when they have a question and they want an answer, they know I've done the research, they called me. Do I tell them? Of course I do, because Rosewood does not belong to me. It's a shared history. And anybody, welcome to the information. The one thing I don't approve, when people take our information and distort it and lie about what happened just to make a name for themselves. We don't approve of that. Other than that, we are a family that's moving in the right direction and doing good things, okay, for the community. All right, that's about time for our first half. We're going to head to a quick break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, two things haven't: our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured,
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
and our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
I am Black History.
I am Rosewood Black History.
I am Florida
and
America's Black History.
And you are too.
January 1st, 1923, the KKK insurrectionists attacked Rosewood, killing 5, burning it down.
Because a white woman lied and cried, a black man assaulted me. Rosewood redevelopment is on its way.
Want to help? Visit rosewoodflorida.com.
Welcome back to the Queen Lizzie podcast, brought to you weekly from the Steve Spurrier podcast room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. We are here with Coach Serena Lamar. The Queen Lizzie podcast is brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, live from the Meldon Law Gator studios at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. And we're back with the Rosewood history, which is so important for the next generation, for our kids. And it was important to my mom, for me, her baby, to make sure this history is kept preserved, is kept alive, what she would tell me. And her reason for wanting it to remain alive so that we will not forget who we are, where we came from. And as I said, her sister suffered the agony of defeat, and Mom said, you must write a story. However, she wrote the song, and you must sing this song and tell some of the stories so that the people will know at least what it is about in your goal. She said, research, authenticate, document, tell the truth, and never accuse anyone for what happened in Rosewood, because they are not responsible, which is true. And she said, baby, you're not responsible, which is true. So the song she wrote, 13 verses, and I'm just going to sing a few that tells some of the story. And it goes like this. The Cedar Key train conductors were told to pick up in Rosewood. Standing by the tracks with a lantern, its young school teacher stood, waiting in desperation to carry out the sheriff's plan, rounding up the hidden survivors to board the midnight train. The sheriff and the store owner worked around the clock, informed the train conductors just when and where to stop, pick up the men, women, and children who were hiding out, and bring them to Archer, Florida, traveling the same old route. Bob Walker and John Wright took on a daring risk, put the survivors on the train, Lord, and sent them off with a kiss. Notified the Gainesville families to be on the lookout for their kin. Told them the train was a-coming and told them exactly when. Now, after the Rosewood Massacre, as my mom said, all hell broke loose. Had it not been for the Levy County Sheriff, Bob Walker, Rosewood people, the people of Rosewood, would have been killed. However, 5 were murdered, but more than that, because Rosewood and Cedar Key is a peninsula, and one way in and one way out. So the sheriff, Mom said, worked 96 hours from Rosewood to Sumner to Cedar Key, begging the white men that lived in Cedar Key, because there were no blacks at that time, to please help him relocate the people of Rosewood. He went to several train conductors, and they all said no. So he went back repeatedly and talked to the Bryce brothers that are from Bryceville, two of them, and they said, Bob, if you would take this train out of Shittake like 4 a.m. when all of the other people, the bad guys, are asleep, he said, I think we may be able to get some people to help us. And that did work, because there were some men that told him, said, we can't risk put our family out there, jeopardize their lives, because we know there are bad people out there, and if they know that we are helping, they're going to attack our family. However, 4 a.m.-ish, they did get the consent of, I call them my unsung heroes. I don't know who they are, who they were, but they were humanitarians, and they helped round up and relocate the people. And the reason I talked about Archer, because Archer was the first stop. Archer is where my aunt is from, and where my family live today, and this is where we are going to build our Rosewood Museum in honor of the Rosewood school teacher. Okay, and Gainesville was the second stop. Okay, however, the train, after they put the people off in Archer and Gainesville, the train just continued to go to Bryceville, the home of the train conductors. When they got to Bryceville, they were so surprised to see so many people were still on the train. It stopped at other places. No one got off. The reason people were still on that train, because they were not from Florida. They didn't have any place to get off. The people that got off in Gainesville were from Gainesville. Archer, some people got exited in Archer that were not from Archer. Okay, and I have followed those people and found out and told them their history, because they did not know that they were not from Archer, but they were seeking safety. So they got off in Archer, and people just took them in, and you know we used to do that anyway. Bring in people we know, and they knew they were escaping Rosewood. So people extended arms of welcome and welcomed them in Archer. And after the Rosewood massacre was over, the city manager of Archer said to me, she knew that I was a Rosewood descendant, she said to me, Liz, we have some property that belonged to Bradley, Mrs. Bradley Davis. She said, do you want it, or do you know how we can get in touch with her family? I said, it doesn't belong to me. So I told her I would reach out and try to locate her family members, and I was able to locate her son down in South Florida. Told him about the property, he never knew it. And of course, he came up and did what he needed to do. He sold the property and invited me to purchase it, but I wasn't interested, okay? But he did have access to that property. So that's what I have been doing all of my life, working to set the record straight and keep our history moving. And I know you have a question.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Yes.
Yes. Do you do a lot now in Archer? I've been there for a lot of different programming. They have a center there. They have a basketball facility there.
I do. I work with Archer. I am at the school. I'm a member of the SAC at the school. I am also a member of the Historical Society. And believe it or not, I have been working with them, and they love history, and they have reached out to me, and we're doing a historical marker we're working on in honor of Josiah T. Walls. Josiah T. Walls was the first black congressman in the state of Florida. He taught school. People didn't know this. He taught school in Archer at Blue Peter School. Blue Peter Negro School, a colored school. He taught, and the people he taught were, my great-grandfather worked with him, and my grandfather he taught. And they found out that I knew Josiah T. Walls, so the Archer Historical Society was interested enough, said, let's do a marker in honor of him. And guess whose name is going in that marker? My aunt. my Rosewood,
That's
and
awesome.
it is awesome. Things are moving because I don't sit down. And there are people in Archer that work with me. And one guy is working on my, what is he calling it? A book for me. I don't remember what it's called right now. Biography?
Yes, biography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. All because he wanted to. He said, you have done too much for this to go unnoticed. Okay, so he is happily doing that. And my board chair wrote to Buckingham Palace, the prince there, and asked him to invite me to come there and speak at the college there and somewhere in Paris. They replied, however, it wasn't negative. He said, because we have so many people wanting to come, at this time we cannot. However, that letter with my name in it is now in the archives there at the Buckingham Palace. Still making history. Still making history.
Yep.
Yes.
When you talk about railroads in Gainesville, I think to myself, like, where are those historically? Like, the only railroad I can think of is out on, like, the northwest side out by that Home Depot out there. Like, I can't think of too many inner city railroads in Gainesville now.
They took them up.
Yeah.
The worst thing they could have done was to take up the railroad tracks. That was awesome. We would have been saving on fuel, if they had maintained those railroads. But there are none. Now, there is one, the property that we own, the railroad train, the train passes through on a track. And that track belongs to my family. On the other side, it's still my family's property. But back then in whenever they put that track down, it went through my family's property. And I might try to sue them. I'm kidding. But the property does belong to us, but we're going to make something. Jordan Marlowe is our city manager, not city manager. He's Newberry's city manager, but he's working. He's my board chair, and he seems to think that we can put a depot on the other side of the railroad track, and then put a walkway from the depot across the railroad track to the Rosewood property. Okay, and have a store. He has bright ideas. He's a genius too, and that is what we're going to do with that property, hopefully. And we got a grant, so we have done the mapping, the surveying, and renderings. So we are ready to start fundraising so that we can make sure all of this happens. And one of our projects is going to be a cookbook that we're working on. And I see that lovely smile on your face because you are going to do what?
I'm going to write a recipe for your cookbook.
Wonderful. We appreciate that. And then we are going to make sure the girls' basketball information is in that book representing the University of Florida and history. We're going to work together and make sure that book tell a story about Florida's history and University of Florida. And when I tell people my aunt taught at the University of Florida, they look at me like, she's not telling the truth. But I have the supporting evidence, okay? She taught school in the early 40s. However, it was in a basement because she was black. The school was all segregated. The football players needed a tutor, so she taught them to help them get their grades up. So working on grade level and playing sports, not grade level, but working on like an honor roll or a passing system is not anything new. It was back then. She did it. And I have her address on a letter, and the address is in a directory that says her name. She changed her name like 5 or 6 times. In this directory, it says not Mahalda, it says Hulda The last name is changed to Carroll. Her husband is Aaron Carroll. It was Carrier. But they did that on purpose because people followed them and harassed her. So she changed her name. She taught school there. And like I said, I have the supporting evidence, and it says job. You know, it says UF.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. And so many things like that happen. But, God, it's a lot of work keeping up with it and making sure it is remembered. Okay, and one other thing I was going to say, I can't remember what it was, but I just want to invite you to our birthday party, the 22nd of October. Be ready, boots on the ground. Okay, and you're going to teach me that.
Yes.
And you're going to do one more fan pop for closing.
You got it.
All right. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
I am continuously humbled, honored, and blessed to meet people daily, people like you, daily, and invite them to join in peace building, healing, and reconciliation through learning about the history of Rosewood. That will wrap up today's episode, number 130. I am Queen Lizzie. Until next time, this is my Rosewood story, and I'm sticking to it. Goodbye.